Hello, everybody! Welcome back to the Dwarven Steam Mine, and welcome to the full game of Brew Barons. It came out in March of last year, 2025, and it was in my library for a while. I think I bought it on sale, so it's fully out. This is my main save that we're gonna be playing on. I have a couple contracts for around here on the main island of Zavel. We have a couple of contracts to fulfill. If we go to the bar, we can see that I've been playing this enough that I've actually started making a little bit of money.
Brew stocks are high. We don't have much more room in the cellar. It's a nice problem to have.
So this is Ivor, my my bar manager at the moment. So they now have multiple people and stuff. My bar is currently Spice and Wolf and Parchment and Wolf themed, hence the name Yoitsu Hills. But we can see that we have made quite a bit of money, gold and silver and whatever else. Not much, probably about 3 gold a day, but hey, that's fine. But as I said, since I have a bar manager, you now have staff that you can employ. So Nigel is my pilot. Francie is still my co-pilot. I also have a bar manager, a mechanic, a marketer, and an accountant. And you can choose. I currently have 12 people in my roster that I can choose. And each one of them has their own pros and cons. I like Nigel and Francie because they basically have no cons. Nigel's is he becomes dizzy after prolonged being in the boosting for so long. And Francie, her con is that her mom will be on the radio every once in a while, which there's nothing. But they both have pros. You can see Nigel's one assigned as pilot. Shots can trigger extra collectible ingredients. Francie's, hers is no transactions, I believe. Yeah, cargo transfers cost nothing. Which, speaking of cargo, we need to go and do some stuff. So I will be cheating slightly. I have a spreadsheet up on my other monitor, which is full of blends and stuff. So if we go to a blend, we can see how many stars it has. My first one was Holo Sweet Travels. Francie's Prickly Delight, which is an ale or beer, has been my #1 seller for a long time. But you can see that it has 3 stars, and that one might have been one I fluked. But most of these other ones that are 1 and 2 stars and such are because I have a spreadsheet, which you don't have to play it like that, but I'm a shit lord, so whatever. We are able to extensively modify our plane. I'm running different wings to make this into a monoplane right now, and my pontoons will actually fold up and be more compact, which means I have a smaller hitbox when going against pirates. They do have heavy planes available, but I do not have all the parts needed. I do not have all the blueprints. So, sucks to be me, I know, but we will very quickly... Oh, I've already accepted the contract. Well, fantastic. So, we need a wispy wheat and a prickly wheat vodka. We can very quickly... We'll go and show you where these locations are. Since this game was fully released, I'm not going to lie, I've had a lot of fun just flying around and exploring. I've already taken out 3 of the pirate captains. I also have engine upgrades. So as you can see, my pontoon is now folded in. The first bar I took was the Pelican and Pipe, just below us. The second one is right across here. is the Thirsty Sailor, which we do have a contract for. And the other one that we have a contract for currently is over here in this corner, which is Droog's Place. I don't know why, but every bartender I had to deal with in the main islands here is kind of an asshole. I don't know why, but they are. So something else that they've added to the game is, if you look on your map, they have these two massive airships. These are floating markets. And just to go see what they are, so as you can see on the plane.
Watch for other planes. Green hooks are clear. Over. We've reached 500 meters.
So as you can see on, fuck, that will be taken. Our little hook has come up, and we just have to snag on to the bottom. Now, the purpose of the market is you can get fuel and repairs, and you can rest here as well. Otherwise, if you don't rest, your pilots become fatigued, which is a big issue. You can also go to the shop. You can buy things. I've had to buy coffee beans and these hot peppers here. I might have also bought some cocoa beans. I don't remember. You can also buy maple honey, the small fin bass, which you can also catch using cages in the water, cuttle squid, and rainbow clams. And I don't know why. I don't want to know, but you can actually combine the bass, the cuttle squid, and the rainbow clam into making I believe it's a vodka you make with it. I think it's the Seafarer's Delight or something like that. I don't know. It sounds repulsive to me, but I think it's a 3-star drink, so fuck it. One of the other things you can get here are, you can get these materials, which you can see at the top right here. They're good for repairs and when you modify and upgrade your plane. While you're here, you can also buy different recipes, which I have also bought a couple from here. So, a lot of ingredients have Roman numerals on them. 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe. 3 maybe. But that means a level 1 requires a level 1 upgrade, whether it be bombs or guns. Level 2 you need level 2 upgrades. Level 3, you get the gist of it. So in order to get certain things, you do need, like aqua grapes, you do need the second upgrade for, I think those are your guns. You can also transfer things that are in your plane. So when you buy something, like let's say we buy some coffee beans, we can those will be in our plane's inventory, and then you can have it shipped to the brewery. And the nice thing is, if you have Francie as your pilot or co-pilot, she will. This costs nothing to transfer from your plane to the ship, or from your plane to the ship to the brewery. That costs nothing, which is great. My favorite thing is whenever you leave,
500 meters.
They'll usually honk at you. Like that. So, we've been out for 2 hours now. So the ship probably hasn't moved a whole lot. Yep, we're still to the far right. We need to head straight. Okay. So, almost right click. Right click is how you drop your water bombs. Show you. Meow. So at that island is kind of a white column of light, kind of like a beacon. That is the main island. That is, what is it called? Zavol. I think there's 2 towns on it, which is Raleigh and I think the town of Zavol. I digress. So that is the floating market. apparently these little swirls of air is where you collect wispy wheat from.
We're at 1,000 meters.
Which we have some in our stores. However, you do not have a capacity, as far as I know, for your stores and such.
We're at 500 meters.
Your bar does have a capacity, as does your plane and the cargo ship. But your stores, as far as or your brewery, I guess, those do not. Okay, so on the top left, you can see my pilot and co-pilot, Nigel and Francie. You can also see a little gyroscope in the very top left corner. To the right of that, you see the stars. That is what your rating is for your bar. You get more money the higher it is. You get more customers, which means more sales, and you get more money. Next to that is your gold and silver. I have almost 200 gold, which I'm very proud of, since I've lost a lot in repairs, because holy fuck, I'm bad. Below that is the date and the time. The date and time are important. Usually only have a set number of days to accept the contract, and another set time to brew it. So we have 4 days for getting it to the Thirsty, one contract with the Thirsty Sailor, and 5 days to get it to Druid's place over here on the right. Next to that is your fuel. So we're sitting at just above 600 fuel, and you can get different engines and different wings and such that will make your plane a little more fuel, a little more economic. However, there's usually a downside. Parts have downsides too. They have pros and cons. So, like my folding pontoons, they give me a smaller hitbox against pirates, but they also means that they're a little bit more fragile and I take a little bit more damage. So there's trade-offs with everything. Below that, the 73 out of 120 is my cargo capacity. I think there's things that you can do to increase it. I know there's things you can do to decrease it. So if you're harvesting something and you hit your 120 max, there has been times where I've hit 121, one extra ingredient.
Fuel check 3/4 full.
Which, yay, I guess, one extra ingredient. Below Francie's name is your speed and altitude. In the middle, you have whatever item you're using. So right now it's a water boost. If I press 1 above Q, that switches to the water gun. And you use your water gun to go and harvest ingredients like these ivy grapes here. Perfect. And then you can switch back. Right click is your water bomb. To the right is your contracts, which you can see all that. I've accepted 2. And the number underneath my pilot and co-pilot's icons there, Nigel is at 65 and Francie is at 97. That is their fatigue level. Once they hit 0, they pass out, and then you just crash your plane into the abyss. It becomes uncontrollable. They have fully fallen asleep at the wheel. Going to land. If you see white bars, that means you will land with no damage whatsoever. It was a very gentle landing. Okay. Now for more yapping. So this is your hangar where you can do stuff. You can create a new plane. You can load one that you've already had. Your catalog is where you go and buy parts. So for the fuselage and wings, it'll tell you if it's for biplanes or for monoplanes. I have a linear booster. things like that. You can also get paint and whatever else. Modifying is where you actually go and change your parts and colors and whatever. Your roster, we've already been over that. That's your team, basically. Your inventory. So your brewery, like I said, does not have a cap on it for capacity. Your bar does. You can see I'm sitting 60 under the max of 200. So when you go and transfer stuff, I was apparently getting some potatoes. It goes into your brewery. All these ingredients, not your stuff that you've already made, but all your raw ingredients will be available to you at your brewery. And if you ever get confused on what you need for a contract, you can go over here and tell you. So each contract will tell you what island it's at. So this is in Valais, which is our town here in Zavel. It'll tell you what bar. It'll tell you what one of the main ingredients needs to be. This doesn't need to be the main ingredient. It just has to be one of the main ingredients. Either your primary or secondary ingredient. It tells you the minimum alcohol content that they want and the maximum alcohol content they want, and how many they want, and how long it has. I haven't gotten one where it needs to be a set quality. I'm sure there'll be a requirement where they need or they want a 1-star or 2-star quality, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. So I have my recipe. So you can also look up your recipes if you go to the recipes here. We can actually see if I have a wispy wheat recipe already in here. Okay, so Fisherman's Vodka, that's the one I was talking about earlier. Side tangent. That needs squid, bass, and clam. Ugh. Disgusting. Tomatoes, sugar beets. Okay. So, sweet wispy vodka. This is what I wanted to make, which I have the recipe for it. Huzzah! Okay. So now if we go to create, you can see we have our recipe here. It needs to be 40% wispy wheat and 20% honey. Oh, fuck, I may not have enough. Well, you have to go collect more. Let's reset that. Well, that sucks, but okay. We know. And I think that the other ingredient needs wispy wheat as well, so. Okay, I need to look for those horizontal air columns.
We've reached 500 meters.
Aha, there's one over here. So, the issue with boosting, I've realized this many times, is while you're boosting, and a few seconds after you come off of it, your plane is uncontrollable. You cannot pitch, you cannot roll, you cannot do anything. So if you were to boost and you're headed towards the water, sucks to fucking be you. And that's exactly what I've done many times. So I've streamed this game on Discord a fair amount to Blue Box, and he's cultured. And every time I do, he always says that it makes him think of Porto Rosso. Which I totally get. It is, to me, it's very reminiscent of that as well. If you don't know what that is, Porto Rosso is an anime movie about seaplanes and shit. Seaplanes and flag boats and whatever else. So whether it's fuel or fatigue level, once you reach about 10%, you kind of in a critical state, whether you're exhausted or out of fuel or whatever. And Francie basically very sad, or your co-pilot, I guess, very urgently urges you to get on the ground and take care of that promptly. Now, I have been fully fatigued and I have crashed because of it. It was actually with our boy Nigel here. So, when I got fully fatigued, I crashed, and then your plane basically gets towed back to the nearest repair depot. When you're fully fatigued, it gets towed back to your hangar, and then you have to replace your pilot with somebody because our boy Nigel here went on a 3-day break to recover. And I had Francie as my pilot then, and then Irina as my co-pilot. Irina's quirk is she's kind of a schizophrenic, and she sees ghosts and shit. And it's really hard to escape those ghosts, and it's really inconvenient. I don't know if it's a nighttime only thing or not, but Irina, as your pilot, she'll actually kind of just start rolling and panicking or whatever, and your plane becomes uncontrollable for a minute. Okay, so this air thing is out, but we have 50, which might be enough.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
OBS? Why? Okay, don't know when that stopped or started being an asshole. We'll just move on from that. So, we picked up our wispy wheat. We have 100 now. So, let's go try to make some now. In hopes that OBS doesn't have a fucking heart attack again. Okay, so if you go up to recipes, we can find the one we were looking for. It's on like page 9 or something. Or further. There it is. Sweet Wispy Vodka. Alright. Now if we go up here, we see that we need a Wispy Vodka. And we can pin that as well. Get out of here. So 40% wispy wheat, 20% honey. We're going to try doing this percentage-wise. Honey. We have to introduce some other ingredients into it to kind of thin out the percentages. Okay. And we got our ratios off. That's fine. We'll start off with about 30 honey. And the whisper one. There they are. Okay, we're 50-50. An extra 10. Good. And we'll add some of that and the wheat. Alright, well that's not working either. Why we're getting these recipes right, it is mostly just a miracle. Well, give this a shot. So we need to make sure the distilled number doesn't go over 23%. one big scoop would be like about 12. Yep, 13-ish. That works. We'll do another scoop. And then a little tiny scoop. 22 if it's distilled. That should be okay. Famous last words. And then we need to distill it to turn it into vodka. And hopefully this doesn't turn into a giant barrel of piss. Hey, look at that! It did! Oh, shit. Oh, 20. 20 is a good number. I think. Oh, I just realized you can make tequila. Aha! Success! So we have made a sweet wispy vodka, and it is a 2-star. So 1 star, usually your customer will sell it at a slightly lower value. 3 stars, they'll sell it for slightly above the value. Anything above that, I can't tell you because I haven't had anything more than a 3-star. So. Ooh, it is a very nice pink color. So, keeping with the Spice and Wolf theme, Lenos is a town in it. I don't remember what happened there. So when you make a bottle or a batch that you wish to resell, you're given several different corks, and several different corks. You can dip the top in wax, which I think would be fun. You can also change the color. Let's do nice, kind of like Maker's Mark, not sponsored. And then you can change the label on it, which I like this. I like that label. So if there's ever, you can look at your products, and it'll tell you what you need of what. So our liquid rose that we just made, we can remake that. And my top seller is Francie's Prickly Ale. I can't tell you how many batches that I've sold. Probably about 10 batches of it so far. It tells you the ingredients, and if you just hit create under any one of these, assuming you have the ingredients, then it'll just make a batch for you. So if you have something that's a good seller, a lot of times you will just repeat contracts. Then you could just whip up a batch of whatever the contract calls for if it's a good seller, and then you just load it, which we will do now. So our new stuff is in our plane, and I'm just going to transfer all of it to the plane, because whatever's left will go to the bar eventually. So when we go to the bar, we can actually see reviews of whatever we have at our bar. And my review for this mead that I made, Holo Sweet Travels, the mead came out all gloopy. It was basically just like a thick syrup with not a whole lot of alcohol in it. And the review on it was that people got hospitalized. So, and to this day, people bitch about it. But every night, a bottle or two of it gets sold. So, either I'm the world's most mediocre salesman, or people on this island are really fucking dumb. 'Cause in my mind, if it's shit, don't drink it. So we landed at the Thirsty Sailor. Now we will talk to our owner.
Welcome.
The owner of
I trust you brought the brews stashed in your plane.
Thatcher is the only bar owner of the 3 bars that I have contracts with who isn't a dick. One of them isn't a massive dick, but the other one is. So now we will deliver.
Let's take a look then.
I have. There has been a time where I've delivered the wrong contract to the wrong place, and they're not happy when that happens. Which, fair enough. So he wants 33 things. And he'll give me 19 gold and 80 silver for it.
A reasonable quality brew. That'll do for now.
Thank you.
Well, the contract is complete. I'll let you know when I need some more.
Thanks, Thatch. So now, if we hit local news while we're here, we can get reviews of stuff. Which the last article and the current article were both of I4, my bartender, which apparently he tries to hit on the ladies and isn't very professional. So now if we look at our map, we see that these two islands are currently under pirate control. This one being a ship division, and this one being a gunship patrol. I think we're going to go take out that gunship patrol. I don't really have any I don't care to go after the pirates right now because my plane is still kind of crap. But every once in a while, they deserve a good thrashing.
A few minutes later.
Pirates have opened fire.
Ooh, I don't know what those are. Like some sort of fire bombs or air mines or something.
Stat report. Moderate damage.
Okay, we're kind of getting our ass kicked. Ooh, that was some good hits on me.
Stat report. Moderate damage.
We're most definitely getting our ass kicked. Okay, so this is the last part that I'll show today. Is you can salvage wreckage. So, good variety. So, this the small box with a frame all the way around it is a small crate. The one with these kind of the one larger handle on the end there is a medium in the middle, and the one on the left is a large crate. I only have a medium winch at the moment, so I can only get the small and medium box. Now, salvaging wouldn't be that bad if it wasn't for the fact that they have these little challenges where, in this case, jellyfish, normally for me it's sharks, where, ooh, blueprint, that's actually really useful. This might have been a janky video, went through some OBS issues, and we're looking at alternatives as we speak, actually. But thank you so much for watching. If you like more of this, comment down below if you'd like to see more Brew Barons. Otherwise, we still have some new games in rotation that we'll try out here soon. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Again, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye! Testing! Ah! Gonna stop being a little fucking cunt now? Huh? Is that what we're gonna fucking do? You little bitch! Okay. This is at normal volume. Testing. Testing. It's about a foot away. It's about 2 feet. Okay. No corrupting. No fucking around now!